Good day, and welcome to FYI. I'm your host, John Baillie. And this coming season of Lent, there is a Catholic adult education program called the University Series. And with me is the founder of the University Series, Father Dave Heney. Welcome.
Good to be with you, John.
I've never met a founder before. So it's
good to see you.
Good to see you. I mean, do I address you as Mr. Founder? Or?
I'm feeling very important now.
How did you come across or founding the University Series? Now, this started where, in 2001?
2001 in the Canal Valley. Well, first of all, let me just say what the University Series
Exactly.
is. You know, it's an adult education program. It's a Catholic adult education program for Catholics or non-Catholics to learn more about all the different aspects of our faith. And it's a multi-parish program, so it occurs across about 10 or 11 different Catholic parishes during the season of Lent, which is about 5 weeks just prior to Easter. That's a traditional time in the Catholic Church for updating, renewal, getting to know your faith deeper, reflection, personal reflection. What kind of changes do I need to make in my life? A lot of people say, I need to know more about my faith, so they're looking for adult education programs to attend. So I designed it to kind of capture that hunger, and also to attract people that weren't even thinking about it, but saw a particular topic that they were interested in and attend. So it begins the day after Ash Wednesday, and goes for about 5 weeks, just before Easter. On any given night, you have about 5 different offerings to consider. You can go to this church and hear a talk on religion and science. You can go to this church to hear a talk on scripture. Go to that church to hear a talk on archaeology. So it's about 100 different sessions over the 5 weeks.
And it's very interesting. I mean, It's very interesting. The other thing that I found very interesting about the University Series, even though it has the word Catholic in Catholic adult education, there are a lot of people that also attend because you have topics that are generic to everyone.
Sure. I mean, everyone likes archaeology.
Right.
That's a non-denominational topic.
Correct.
We have a lot of topics on current events and religion. So, especially events in the Middle East. People are interested. It seems like a crazy place. What's going on over there? So we always have a number of talks that aim to kind of explain and help people understand the complexity of all the issues going on in the Middle East, since a lot of it has to do with faith and religion, Islam, etc. So a lot of people are interested in that, no matter what their own faith background is. We have a lot of talks on marriage and family. A lot of people are married, a lot of people have families, a lot of people like to know special insights, tips, helpful advice to either make their marriage or their family a happier place. We always provide a number of topics on that area too, because that's very, very important.
Let me get back to my original question.
So why did I start it?
What motivated you?
What happened is I was talking to a person who was a adult education director at a parish, and this lady was kind of just wondering why it is that she was finding great speakers, great topics, very, very convenient schedules, and only the same 40 to 50 people were showing up at every class. She couldn't break out of that same group of 40 or 50. And she had these very conveniently scheduled throughout the year. So I decided maybe the way to go is to go in the opposite direction. Instead of making it convenient for people to come, we will make it a challenge for people to come and challenge them to come every night for a short period of time, a few weeks. So rather than having a program that's spread out over the year, we would have it concentrated in just a 5-week period every night, and then challenge people to come every night. And then also to make sure that the topics were helpful. We don't use jargon. We don't use technical theological jargon of any type. We always want to make sure that every topic provides practical, useful advice that a person can use the very next day at home, school, or work.
Well, I think that's part of the thing that really impresses me, because I don't know if this is your mission statement or what, but I think it sums up the university in its entirety. And the university series connects faith with real life. And I find that very, very important, because I think it's very, very helpful for people who might have issues or problems at home, or they have some concern, or they're interested in what's going on in the Middle East as a current event. Obviously, one of the big current events right now is Pope Francis's visit, and that's going to be a topic. Are you going to do that?
I am, actually. That's a very hot topic in our Catholic faith in terms of understanding, what the meaning of the Pope's visit was, what's going on with the Catholic understanding of marriage and family. So we're having a number of talks on that. Number of talks on the Pope's visit and the whole issue of marriage and family. Number of talks on the Middle East. A number of talks on the latest archaeological finds over there that kind of verify our faith. And what is it that archaeologically we can say about our faith?
There are two main topics that I think are absolutely outstanding. One is John Allen, who is the senior Vatican reporter, and you and Rabbi Mike talking about Judaism versus Christianity and the difference. And those crowds are phenomenal.
Yes. They're just, a lot of it has to do with just the liveliness of the speaker. John Allen is always attracts a crowd of about 900 to 1,000 people every year. We have his talks in the church because it's the only building big enough to have that big a crowd. He's an extremely engaging speaker, very, very witty, very funny, and very informative. Speaks without notes for 90 minutes and just captivates everyone's attention. He's also extremely knowledgeable. He's the CNN senior Vatican correspondent. He has tremendous credibility. He has tremendous access to all of the senior leaders and cardinals of the church. So when John Allen speaks, he speaks with a tremendous amount of integrity and competence. And then Rabbi Mike is Mike Lotker is a very, very engaging rabbi, PhD physicist.
Yeah,
well.
right.
He has a doctorate in physics, and very, very also a very engaging speaker. And what we do there is we have a list of about 30 different topics: baptism, marriage, family, Mass, Bible, clergy, and he will give the Jewish view of that topic, and I will give the Catholic view. So it's not a debate. We just actually compare and contrast. Fortunately, he's also a very witty fellow and very funny, and so everyone finds the evening not only very informative, but a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it's also the thing I got a big kick out of is this is really one of your biggest events, because it's all people from all religions or what have you.
Yes.
And it's that point of view where there are some Jewish people learning about Catholicism that they didn't know, and how close Judaism and Catholics are close together.
Yes.
And so that's very informative, meaning...
And Catholics find out about
exactly
Judaism. And we also have Islamic imams come and, share their insights about the Islamic faith as well.
So it's one of these things. John Allen, to me, is so informative, and obviously he's going to be talking about Pope Francis and what's going on in the Vatican today. And you're absolutely right about he talks for an hour and a half and straight with no notes, and you never get bored listening to him.
And when they say in Rome that when John Allen calls a cardinal for a comment, all of the bishops and the cardinals, they always take his call. They will always talk to John Allen because they can always be assured that his articles, will always be accurate, without any sensationalism, but very, very accurate. And so they trust him. They trust him to tell the truth.
Well, I remember last year when he was here, he was talking about meeting Pope Francis, and Pope Francis was getting ready, preparing to come to the United States, and he was very concerned about speaking English because that wasn't one of his
Right.
primary languages.
He did a good job.
He did a great job, and you know, he was going to join. What are the American people going to expect of me? What should I do? And all this, that, and the other thing. So John Allen really has an inside
Yes.
to just about whatever is going on.
Francis has caught everyone's attention. Everyone's writing about him. I'm really looking forward to the John Allen talk because he will have the best, most inside information there is.
Yeah, and you know, and that's very important today because the Pope was just here. We just had an interview about his visit and your recollection or your thoughts about his visit to the United States and to the joint session. And we're coming back and saying, what is it like for the rest of the world to look at the United States in Pope Francis's visit? And I'm sure John Allen will be talking about that.
Absolutely.
You know, the university series is such that it is to the point of people look forward to going because you call it, you know, adult education. And it is education because you're learning. And I remember last year you had the Shroud of Turin. And there was a gentleman that drove up from Orange County.
Yeah.
And to listen.
Well, fortunately, the guy that we have, he's coming back.
Oh, good.
Barry Schwartz. He is probably the world's top expert on the Shroud of Turin.
And he's a funny guy.
He's a very witty guy, Jewish guy,
Yeah.
of all things. And he has a website called simply shroud.com. And again, a very engaging speaker, speaks without notes. And if you really want to know anything about the Shroud of Turin, which they believe is the burial cloth that wrapped Jesus after they took him down from the cross, you will hear the best information current from Barry Schwartz in the university series.
And he was there when they examined it.
Yes, yeah, he was part of the scientific team that examined
And he
the
was
shroud.
taking photographs of it, and,
Yep.
and he goes into detail about what they found, what they didn't find.
Right.
And I found it very fascinating because you hear of all these things, a Shroud of Turin. Well, isn't it what, et cetera, et cetera. But he really went into detail, and it was fascinating. So when you get subjects like this gives you more understanding.
And again, the point of every session, whether it's the Shroud of Turin or archaeology or John Allen on the Pope, it's always to provide practical information that you can use the next day at your family, home, or work to make your life better and happier.
Now, if somebody wants to go to the university series, what do they do?
They go to the website of all things called The University Series, all one word, theuniversityseries.org.
And what are they going to find?
There they will find the entire itinerary, the entire calendar of all of the sessions, how to register. You can register online, where the sessions are held, where the parishes are, anything that you need to know.
And the topics?
Pictures of the speakers and full explanations of the topics.
And the bios of the speakers.
And the biographies of the speakers.
Because I think that's very important, because you just don't want some...
And pictures of the speakers, too. People like to know, and then a lot of pictures of the events.
Right.
Because people like to know what they're getting into. What kind of an event is a university session look like? So we have a lot of photographs of past years of different sessions.
Now, how many people attended last year?
A little over 11,000 last year.
See, that's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people.
You know, and 11,000 people, and they want to basically learn. Now, these are 11,000 people. That doesn't mean they went to more than one session. Is that correct?
Well, it's 11,000. In other words, counting up all the people that came through all of the sessions,
Right.
it's about 11,000.
Okay.
And that represents about 3,000 people going multiple times.
Okay.
Okay.
So you get a lot of people that might go to 2 or 3 sessions,
Yeah.
but 11,000 people, that's a lot of people per event and per presentation.
Yes.
So if you want to go, you basically have to go to the website. Give that again, please.
theuniversityseries.org.
And
It's all one word, theuniversityseries.org.
And you've got the entire itinerary, the speakers, and what they're going to talk about.
Yes.
So there is a bit of information about everything, the topic and the bio on the person that's going to be presenting.
All sessions begin at 7:30 and they end at 9 sharp. We know people like the things start on time, so they start and end on time.
Now, the other thing is, when does the university series start?
It starts
Thursday after Ash Wednesday.
Right.
Okay. So basically, Thursday after Ash Wednesday.
February 11th.
February 11th.
Right.
Okay. And there are how many different venues to go to?
There's about 11 venues, 11 parishes that they can choose from, all the way from St. Mel's in Woodland Hills to Our Lady of the Assumption in Ventura.
You know, and I come back and I look at and I like to call it a mission statement. I don't know if you meant it to be that, but I think it sums up the university series and what it's all about. Connects faith with real life. And I think that's so important today because religion today and life are hand in hand. And this is an educational program. And some topics are going to deal with some very, very sensitive subjects.
We don't shy away from any topic, but we do make sure that the speaker is knowledgeable, and especially during the Q&A. We always encourage Q&A after every session, and so we want to make sure that our speakers know how to handle questions and know how to handle people respectfully.
Well, Father Dave, thank you for coming in and talking to us about the university series. I'll be there this year,
Great.
as always, and have a very successful university series.
Thank you.
And thank you for listening, and I hope you go to at least one session at the University Series. I don't think you're going to be disappointed. Stay well and have a great day.